The Vikings were one of the most formidable raiders of their time. Almost every attempt made to raid a village resulted in their favour, but the real question is why and how.
I am Dr. Ronan and this is Dr. Thomas Way, and today we are looking at why and how the Vikings were such successful raiders.
Welcome to Lindisfarne, 793 AD. Here we have one of the largest Viking raids ever. This is where the Viking era really started. This was one of the bloodiest battles fought between the Vikings and their victim of a raid. Let's look at how the Vikings got here. Vikings always relied heavily on the sea for travel and transportation. One reason why they were naturally good at sailing and seafaring. This is because from a young age they were taught how to use ships and how to build them. They relied on this so heavily because their homeland was surrounded by water. Vikings were very smart people too. Despite seeming like thuggish barbarians the whole time, this helped them invent innovative inventions, such as the keel, to help their boat turn and not fall over. We have been able to prove this from the archaeological discovery of the Oseberg ship, a well-preserved Viking longboat.
Let's go have a talk with some specialists in Viking tactics and techniques.
Good idea, let's go. We head over the next day to talk with Neil Oliver, one of the experts in Vikings. You see, this is very interesting. It talks about Vikings training at a very young age, but we'll get back to that later. First, let's hear about what Neil Oliver has to say about Vikings tactics and techniques.
The Vikings had their own rules of combat, much different to normal Europe. They would often use this to their advantage. For example, rules from the Bible that restricted Christians in battle were often used against them. One example of this was from a raid on a village in which the Vikings could not infiltrate the town. They devised a plan to pretend that their chief was dying and that his last wish was to be converted to Christianity and to be buried on sacred ground. The Christians agreed, and thus their village was plundered and the Vikings were able to successfully raid the town.
Now, let's talk about Vikings' tactics and techniques, and how it influenced why they were such successful raiders. Vikings began their training at a very young age. In fact, at only 6 years old. From 6 to 12 years of age, Vikings were trained by themselves. But once they reached the age of 12, they had to compete in Olympic events alongside adults. This helped the Vikings to improve their skills in battle and to learn fairness in life. Vikings participated in sports which would seem very dangerous in a time like now. But with great respect for life and limb, Vikings were able to play these sports and end up healthy and alive. Some of these sports included stuff almost similar to wrestling or sword fighting, which would seem dangerous, but like I said before, Vikings had very heavy rules, and they would always stick to them. Overall, Vikings' tactics, training, and navigational skills helped them to become one of the greatest raiders that ever lived.
Hope you enjoyed this documentary, and goodbye.